Clerk, would you mind starting us off, sir?
Sure, 2 minutes. I don't believe I received a contribution from DBI, but even if I did, I don't see anything wrong with it. If they're doing something, if they have a contract with the city of Oakland, they can't give any contributions to any candidates anyway, so that would negate them from this place. Secondly, the sailboat house or the Lakeshore house is a classic example of what's going on in the city. San Francisco has the largest concentration of restaurants per capita in the country. Yet that restaurant was turned over to a restaurateur with no open bidding, with no availability. You're going to tell me you cannot convince more than one restaurant in San Francisco to come over and build a restaurant with a lake view that would be right there on the water, to invest their own money and not look at the city to put money into their project? It's inconceivable. This is not the way to run a city. You cannot expect constantly to give up your tax dollars for something that people will bid and compete for. The height of the real estate market, the city saw its infinite wisdom to subsidize Forest City's housing at 20th and Broadway. Right across 1 block away, private land was sold at record amounts for free, where now you see the West Grand condominiums going up. So you're going to tell me the value of property 1 block away was so dramatic that the city had to subsidize to the tune of $70,000 per unit of your tax money? When 1 block away it was selling at market rate value? So this is what's going wrong with the city. And the sailboat house is a classic example of it. You need honest, open bidding so that you get the best value for your tax dollars and the city is not stuck with constant bills.
Well, I don't even need to stand, really. No, I'm not receiving any money from them, guys. I'm not receiving any money from them, but I tell you what. Oh, that's all right. I'll get that. I'm not receiving any money from those guys, but I'll tell you this. I'm running the grassroots program and election and campaign and all those things. And I'm doing that because I got into this race late. Now, if DBI came to me and said, we want to donate to your campaign, Frank, I'd have to look at it and I would let them know right away. You can't buy Frank Groves. And that's the whole point, is that you like to receive donations from a lot of people. And as long as those people know you're a principal and that you're not going to do what they want you to do, then you got it made. Most of these candidates, they're getting money from a lot of people. They're getting money from the SEIU and the Chamber of Commerce and all those places. Now, I'm wondering, are they going to do what the Chamber of Commerce tell them to do, or are they coming to you guys and ask you, what do you want me to do? And you know the labor unions. Labor unions is the fire department and all these people, they're saying that, you know, the firemen are pretty selfish. Just like the police are pretty selfish. They want all the raises, they want everything. So, I would have to tell them what was happening. And I'm not getting anything, and I just make this last statement, and that is that if you offer Frank Groves a donation, you might know, or you will know when you finish making the offer, that he's not going to be bumped for anything. I've been doing this too long for free to let $600 influence me.
I'm Charlie Pine. I have no developer money. It's been very moving to me because individuals have been giving people who are unemployed but who still give me $100 because they want a change in City Hall and they know that this is their chance, the best chance they've had, and maybe the best chance for years to come, the best chance they've had in years for real change at City Hall. Just to give you an example of how I've actually walked the walk of exposing unclean government. Back in 2006, we voted on Measure N. It was a $148 million bond proposal. City Hall was all united trying to get you to pass that. You imagine this with today's credit markets, you know, how it would be helping city finances if we had a $148 million debt, most of which was for a Palace Library downtown, chunk change for a few branch libraries around the city. And I actually was one of the leaders of the campaign for the no vote on that. We didn't have a campaign committee. We did it all by word of mouth, didn't raise money. Council members from District 4 raised $150,000 trying to pass Measure N. And we went down and showed you that $75,000 of that came from businesses that have or were angling for contracts with the city. You know, there's a lobbying firm down in Southern California that does lobbying for the city up in Sacramento at the Capitol, Townsend Associates. And they gave several $1,000s. You know, what does Chris Townsend do? Get off his jet and check out a book from an Oakland library and then go on up to Sacramento? You know, all of a sudden, Waste Management, California Recycling Systems, and all these businesses that had or were angling for city contracts were giving money to a ballot measure. And they were, and I would close that loophole because it's right. Within certain time limits, if you have a contract with the city, you can't give to a candidate. But there's nothing in the law that says you can't do anything for a ballot measure. So City Hall is united. I mean, don't they feel like a closed corporation and you are facing them from the outside? And I'm trying to break through that for you. And so when you're on a board or something like that, you speak to the people. You don't gather with the bureaucracy against the people.
Thank you for the question. No, I have not gotten any money from BBI, but I'm glad the question was raised because campaign finance reform is really important in order to provide integrity in government. And it really is an important challenge for everything we're trying to do in our community when people feel that there isn't access. And, you know, I know it's been something I've certainly grappled with when I ran for this seat 8 years ago with virtually no money at all. I was outspent 20-1. Plus there were a bunch of PACs, and I got 44% then, which, you know, at the age of 29, frankly, was a great honor to me to have the trust of that many Oakland voters. But even in that, from that moment, I could see the impact of the campaign finance system we have, as well as that being a concern more broadly. And California has grappled with some changes in California law that have been proposed and then not gone through to provide clean money financing in California. Oakland has actually proposed a clean money matching fund, which now exists, except not for the at-large seats. And it's true, there's this incredible loophole in the donor rule, which is it's only a window of time during which you can't give. So we absolutely need to fundamentally rethink our campaign finance and election finance rules to create the level of fairness and access. And I was thinking about your question about, you know, has anyone thrown you galas? And I do want to own up, yes, the California Nurses Association has thrown me a fundraiser. The Sierra Club has thrown me a fundraiser. I'm incredibly proud to have the endorsement of the Wellstone Democratic Club and the unions, frankly, you know. And part of what's important to say about the California Nurses Association, which is a very adamant supporter of mine, is that they don't work for the city. So it's not their contract I'm going to be negotiating. They're an activist union who cares about social justice, and they've been advocates all along for healthy development, for sane communities, for universal health care, and so I'm proud to have their support.